Good afternoon. Welcome to Materials and Chemicals of Concern and the Red List, presented today by Melanie Loftus, Lead AP BD&C, from Healthy Building Science, and brought to you by Green Building Research Institute. And here is today's course description. We are exposed to over 80,000 chemicals in our daily lives with varying degrees of safety and testing. Green building rating systems are increasingly taking note of potential health and environmental risk associated with chemicals found in common building materials and are taking steps to encourage projects to identify and select safer products. Join us now to learn about the chemicals of concern identified in the LEED and Living Building Challenge rating systems, what common products they are found in, potential risks, and safer alternatives. Now I'd like to introduce today's instructor. Melanie Loftus has a Master of Environmental Management degree from the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies and is a volunteer presenter for the Living Building Challenge Ambassador Program. Melanie works as a Healthy Materials and Green Building Consultant at Healthy Building Science in San Francisco. She is a lead AP with a specialty in BD&C. Her day-to-day responsibilities consist of advising owners, construction teams, and designers on healthy materials selection.
In addition, there's an epidemic in this country with issues that may be caused by endocrine disruption, ADD, birth defects, reduced fertility issues are all caused by endocrine disruption. And in addition, there are a lot of effects that are not necessarily being felt by the human population, but soil contamination and aquatic toxicity are major environmental concerns that we should be addressing. So who determines material safety in the United States? The Environmental Protection Agency is charged with this authority through the Toxic Substances Control Act. And I'll talk about some of the limitations to that act in a little bit. They also have a registry for pesticides through the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act. And then they also try to get companies to voluntarily join programs such as Design for the Environment, Environmentally Preferable Purchasing, and the Green Chemistry Initiative to start making smarter product design and purchasing decisions to have a lower impact on the environment. LEED addressed chemicals of concern directly through Pilot Credit 54, Avoidance of Chemicals of Concern. In Pilot Credit 54, LEED listed specific chemicals that project teams should avoid in a percentage of the product's purchase for the project when pursuing LEED certification. It created controversy because, in effect, LEED created its own list of chemicals it deemed were the greatest concern to the built environment. Because the USGBC is a consensus organization, some members objected to this list, and some of you may be familiar with the subsequent delays in releasing LEED 2012, now LEED version 4. What was ultimately decided was to replace Pilot Credit 54 with MR Credit 4, Building Product Disclosure and Optimization, Material Ingredients, Option 2, Material Ingredient Optimization. So this is a bit of a mouthful. I'll probably refer to this as Option 2 or as Material Ingredient Optimization, just to shorten it a little bit. But I'll be referring to this draft credit. This credit is no longer contains a list of materials of concern, and instead it follows the practice of LEED by relying on second and third party certifiers and industry standards already in place to push the market toward responsible material selection. Chemicals in LEED Pilot Credit 54. The chemicals outlined in Pilot Credit 54 represent some of the most potent carcinogens and reproductive toxicants in the building industry. In this next section, I will walk through these chemicals and discuss where they can be found, why they are problematic, and what alternatives exist in the marketplace. Lead was once more common in building materials and industrial practices than it is now, mostly due to the fact that the harmful effects of lead are more broadly understood and recognized. The most common source of lead in buildings, as many of you know, is in paints. Prior to the 1970s, many types of wall paints contained lead. However, lead in paints has been phased out, and lead in paints were banned in 1978. Older buildings may still contain lead residues from these paints, even if the walls have since been coated or painted over. Another way that occupants may be exposed to lead is through water from lead pipes. The Pharos Project is a subscription-based research tool, but it's really excellent for finding out chemical information. You can enter in the chemical name or the CAS number, the CAS number, and do searches that way. There are over 1,000 products in the database and many thousands of chemicals, and it really addresses the largest number of chemicals and gives you a clear sense, based on the color coding, what the highest concern chemicals are and what you should really be concerned about when you're going through, for instance, an MSDS.